So awesome to see you, Isabel and Alex. So we are introducing two digital solutions, one for the Arabic country and one on the topic of IKIGAI. So Isabel, the stage is
Yes.
yours. Would you please share the screen and introduce
Okay.
yourself and of course the solution?
Yes, of course. So thank you very much. I'm going on the whole, upsala, I'm sharing my whole desktop because I need more things later. So, okay, today in this area, I'm not talking about research topic or a study, a very practical solution that has iterated, let's say, over the last 10 years. And for the especially Arabic, very special market for Saudi Arabia that is in a huge transformation. So my name is Isabel, and I'm a passionate lecturer and consultant of design thinking, design your life, and intercultural management. So let's say consultancy is more into innovation strategy, where I have worked the last 5 years in Saudi Arabia also for STC, for the Saudi Film Commission to implement huge transformation projects. But why I'm also here in our community. So I studied economics in Marburg in Madrid, and my PhD topic was already personality development for entrepreneurial competences in schools and university, even master thesis. So my whole passion was always how to develop in young people already entrepreneurial personalities. It was only 1 year later that I got to know design thinking. So if I had known that before, maybe it would have been everything different because so I fell in love with design thinking because with Alexander Groth, when we implemented this, I just recognized, wow, design thinking is super soft skill development and everything that I needed. So this is why I'm a fan, and of course, even a bigger fan of applying it for yourself. So here, when we are talking about Saudi Arabia, each presentation starts also with the Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And everything in Saudi Arabia right now is for the Vision 2030, paying into innovation, health, and other programs. And I'm always under the column of quality of life program. So to improve quality of life of Saudi people. But rewind. I'm closely coming back to where it all comes from. So my PhD and everything was already anchored in the definition of Schumpeter. This was, let's say, the deduction of Schumpeter's theory and everything. Recognize opportunities and implement them in the market through entrepreneurial personalities. So, and everything since then, so we are talking about 2008 and before, of course, in the research, is how can we start here in all the teaching, everything we are doing to rise the personalities and then give them the opportunities and give them some innovation tools to implement it. So there the study was, what is the character traits that make it more probable if you have the opportunity, you will found a company. Nowadays, I would say they are all paying into feeling comfortable with change. So this is the one thing. And the second thing is, if you are or have the character traits, the entrepreneur normally has a vision, what he wants to change in the world. He has a vision that makes him go. In general, the vision makes all of us go. So actually, it's those two things. And I recognize design thinking. I'm very quickly into this because I think we are all here in that group. We are design thinkers. So for me, design thinking is more than giving output, is more than developing business ideas or product services. It is entrepreneurship education without having a business idea because it's fostering all the personality traits, or let's say it's a mix of competence, of traits, of skills that we would need for having an entrepreneurial mind. So it's a mindset education. And the second is applying this. So for me, designing your life, this whole application is for finding your vision and mission. It makes you go. So both of this for me is complementary and makes it perfect. First, maybe design your life to find your mission, and then being able to do it and implement it. Fail, get up again, do it again, fail, get up, and all what we have as an entrepreneurial personality. So when And I'm repeating since 2008 and all the research before. So I had the master thesis in 2005. Already there it was all about the entrepreneurial personality. 2013, I got this opportunity for teaching entrepreneurship in Saudi Arabia. Wow, what's this country unknown and so forth. And of course, I had a huge lecture. I think it was 50 units or something. So it was nearly 3 weeks, and not whole days, but afternoons. And of course, the lecture of entrepreneurship for me was a mixture of theory, like what is innovation, what is entrepreneurship, application of design thinking to make them do it, and already like every second day I had some personality exercises or what's your values and this and this. Very much blended, Dal Hekma University. It was a huge muscle to get into the country. Just having that visa was very special. It took so many loops and eye scan, fingerprint, and no visa until at the embassy they told, no, you cannot enter the country as a woman. For tourists, it was not possible at all. For traveling a woman alone under the age of 42, it was not allowed. And I was 33. The big things, this is the visa, a diplomatic visa even just go. So to go to university. And then, so when I entered, Jeddah it was one of the most modern cities already from Saudi Arabia, but of course there was no tourism allowed, nothing. In general, it is very, very beautiful, still is, very different from everything we might know from Europe, and very closed. So men and women is a big topic, never together, different entrances, even in Starbucks. You never could meet anyone, everything in separation from university. There was not allowed anything what we have now from entertainment. The first cinema was there with the new king. So no cinema, no events, no music, no concert, nothing. The moral police was everywhere. So if you are on the street in the praying hours, you needed to pay a penalty. So everything in this, especially outside, was very close. And then inside where I was, of course, the contrary, because the bus from airport gets you to the compound where only foreigners are. Outside are soldiers, also with machine guns to protect this. No Arab people can enter the compound. It's like a free zone. And inside, it felt more like a holiday village, okay? Even there, it would be possible to go in bikini, whatever you like. So there were only foreigners and many, many of the foreign professors of Dal Hekma as well. So there I had a lot of communication and interchange. So with this background in this country, then I came to do the class and I was super also insecure a little bit. So how are they and so forth. But what I realized, of course, for them, it was completely new to work with design thinking, with not frontal knowledge transfer, but with doing things. Also, because I had so much time, it was very profoundly, they would select the challenges they were introducing to me, what's the main issues in Saudi Arabia. In the second batch, you see, there was also a mother inside the course because she did not trust what we are telling and teaching the children. So it was very special, but the people I have never in my life met so warm and hearty people like this. So I completely fell in love since 2013 with this old Saudi Arabia. And then after the third batch, there was a president who was, for those close times, super visionary. She is, for me, the comparison of of entrepreneurial personality. And she was asking, Isabel, can you give me some proposals how to establish an innovation center? At a women university, where the main faculties are design, architecture, and teacher education. No business, no nothing. So very visionary to have an innovation center for Saudi women for leadership. It was amazing and honored to get to know her. So I introduced the standard stuff and I introduced, of course, an innovation center based on personal orientation first. Okay, who am I? Where do I want to go? And so forth. And then innovation tools and then others. And when I even started, because this was the third solution I gave, it was direct, oh, we want to have this personality stuff. So there was already there highly, highly needed. 2015. So then let's say Design Your Life started there because then we were implementing this concept, and the first part was in August, September, the orientation week, to have 300 Saudi kids, not young Saudi students, and 200 professors to train. And I, of course, recruited some more people. I couldn't do this alone. So from Munich to Jeddah, we were 3 design thinkers here, one management coach and one psychologist. And especially she brought all the exercises from positive psychology, also the theoretical background. So it was me and her mainly. We had the whole concept, and also the two of us who did the professors training before going into the 300 students week. So that was my best project ever in my life, I think. So then we started, as you see, in that old-fashioned Saudi Arabia, we were working, what is my aspirations? What is the key questions? Also, what is turning around them? Will I be successful? How do we see Saudi Arabia in 5 to 10 years? We had smaller groups, so morning and evening sessions, and I thought if I can reach one Saudi student, but like 90% of them, it was very highly emotional what we got out of there. So they discovered, who am I? What do I want? And then what do I want from university for me? So this was the part more of then into innovation or into new ideas. So in the end, they were doing this, they were giving, okay, this is me. They were doing an exhibition for the professors. And then in the end, each group was presenting in front of the professors, this is us, and this is what we need, and this is what we expect from our university life. So very touchy. Then, okay, I went back to normal teaching, and now I'm stopping here because interesting now, because this was the most profound, I would say, the beginning of this Design Your Life, how I did it without knowing it, let's say. Fast forward 2021. By 2020, I started to work on the big Saudi projects. So the first thing when they asked me, would you be there? They need some design thinking, something. First thing, Saudi Arabia, yes. Because this was for me, I really wanted to go back. I had this in my background. And then, okay, I thought, oh my God, the visa, everything there. And they said, no, easy. It's easy, Isabel. And Saudi Arabia has changed because last time I was there was 16. Now we are talking about 5 years of change. 2015, just a couple of days before our orientation program was, the king died. And so we see after 5 years a change of 200 years. So the visa was done within 10 minutes online on your Apple Wallet. I think no country can compete with this user experience, digitalization. Coming back to Riyadh, where they say, I was in Jeddah, the modern city. Riyadh, the Jeddah people said Riyadh is 200 years still behind us. And so I don't know what I expected, but not this. There were projections, stuff on the palace going on. It seems like Shanghai or something, events, entertainment, wherever you go, the most fancy restaurant. People can go if they go with their abaya, without abaya, men and women together. It's just everything, 3 days. I was just saying, that's not possible. That's not possible. And this is why it's so profound inside, because I saw the old and I see the new Saudi Arabia. It's so amazing. And then my boss from the first trip, when I came back from the client, he said, Isabel, frankly, what opportunities do you see for KSA besides our client? And I just said, naturally, well, guiding women to find their new life. Now they have all the freedom they want. The new king is doing this all by law. So it's all the focus is on women, empowering on women, giving them, if women have a business idea, give them money, everything, women quote. So But if you from one day to another, let's say you have all the freedom, everything is possible. Of course, you're running around and say, so what's in for me? So this is why guiding women to find their new life, design your life, and maybe hopefully in this community in general, not as an app, but is so helpful over there. So then I started, my boss showed me this. I started to pitch with him, always in the direction of governmental programs to focus on the women. We have here big lady innovation programs, always and the focus of design your life, then design thinking and other things. We made it really to municipalities up to the highest floor. Everybody, as soon for them, it was so new, this focusing on the personal orientation before innovation, because now it's only innovation, innovation tools, innovation methods, innovation training. But to tell it's one step before was fantastic. Also here, it was really amazing. Only, yeah, pitching in front of Saudi men was maybe not the same as pitching it for Saudi women. No, but mainly I had problems because in governmental entities, you always need an interpreter, so they're not so firm in English speaking. So we handed this over more to an Egyptian team, but it was always, wow. What happened then? I don't know. In the meantime, I went back to my regular courses at university, especially here. I'm based in Rome, so in Louis since more than 5 years. I think I have design thinking and then design your life. Like I spent a whole year with the students, which is very nice, and doing this. And then this year, because it's more than a year that I have been for projects in Saudi Arabia, I made a private trip to Jeddah to visit my old friends and came even to the former president. We are still good friends for the Ramadan time. And what you see here, and now it comes why the app is coming, is a picture after an amazing evening. I arrived on a Thursday night. On Friday, I spent the day, so it was Ramadan with Hanan. This is her daughter driving. This is also very new. It was not possible before. After we were on their family gathering, this is 4 o'clock in the morning, eating those greasy French fries from private people who were selling this. So after iftar. The family gathering was very big, and we were about 7 or 9 young people, so cousins and all of this, and elder one. And she was saying, I know Isabel always from innovation, but she's also doing another program, Design Your Life and stuff, to help you in presentation. So all of them, so what is it? What is it? Can you do it with us? And I said, no, no, please do it, do it. So it was like a stand-up comedy of 3 hours. I was just doing my Design Your Life, some exercises of it. I had the manual on the phone, and the rest I was just speaking and instructing them. And from them, it was day one from 10 days. It spread. The next day to iftar, other people came, mothers. Isabel, I give you all the money you want if you tell me what my son should study. The other kids were there. Oh, is it true? Or can we do a course? Do you have a webinar? And so forth. So each day somehow it got, without me, it just got there. And then asking and researching more, of course, there was a mega gap. Even young people, what they do is personality testing, this and this and this, answering the questions, and then this is what you should do, but very rudimentary. And the biggest foundation from the kingdom, from the king, is the MISC group, but also they're fostering very much to see the high talented people to get them into innovation programs. So also there, it's still very output oriented. And so with Hanan, she was seeing, Isabel, it's a big business. Just for a simple personality test, they pay about $50 or something. So you can make money. It's not just for free. And we were somehow, my vacation was then doing some business model. And then came the biggest part, how to make it visible. It's one thing to have a manual, one thing to make live sessions and stimulating people, where you have even pages to write or minutes to speak and introduce, and then make it to 2 sentences in an app or something. And there at one point also Hanan left. She said she has her own startup. She built a spa for women and well-being, and said, this is now going too much. I can support you, but I'm more or less out. So the biggest thing was how to talk to developers. how to explain them with the manual, this I want an app. So it was nearly impossible. Until at one point came my dear colleague, friend, and now she's my business partner, Esma. She has a development background. She's a business analyst and she is in design thinking and innovation. So she speaks the languages and also she speaks Arabic. So with her, she did the technical requirements document. She's there when talking with the developer. So she is with her now, it went fantastically. And now this, it was all tested. Let's say then afterwards with the Saudi guys from content-wise, I did it again. I was asking them, do you prefer my layout of the process or this or that? What is common? This is one randomly. And they always said, no, this, it's so playful. It's so nice. Okay, so we were doing this. Everything is a mega iteration. So this is now our process in the app. Explore, define, ideate, and then we call it refine. Not prototype test, it's just together here. And of course, the process leads a little bit and the feasibility to the business model. Let me make this small. So what we, by doing it singularly into this, so we have the app is like a one-time purchase where you have the full journey. The outcome is who am I? And of course, what do I want to do? Like a concrete milestone plan. And then this, for now, it's done for universities or B2B clients so that they distribute this, hopefully first together with a live session, let's say, and then by train the trainer. And then this is afterwards a monthly subscription of about $1 or $2 where we're using this. So we learned that Happy Diary, where it should be what you are, I guess, also doing inside here, it's just not working. So even in the courses I realized. So that function, this is already available in other apps, goes afterwards in the monthly subscription, using it for the refining, like integrating the Happy Diary to track do I integrate my values, everything I found out here, all the positive activities, do I still have negative? So everything is here done in the monthly subscription. Especially here matching with community of the same passions. So I'm not matching for interest or something, really for the passion statements they could deliver here. Give access trainings and focus areas. So maybe if people want, some want to go for startups, for businesses, okay, I can connect you to this and this university course for business planning, for business modeling or something. Others might say, okay, I was ideating because for me it's more important. I saw in my life assessment that I really need to go to work on my relationship. Then, okay, you can get connected to life coaches. So whatever is then needed there, and it's still very much adaptable, of course. So the value proposition is, first of all, especially it's for the Middle East and more especially for Saudi Arabia, an answer to the change in education. So there, all the universities, because of the governmental innovation programs, are competing to bring new learning tools in the market, and especially AI, everything here, like seamless education experience, but always with the latest trends and technology. This is just the pulling thing. Also, Saudis are a bit different from Europe's. It's concentration rate is very, you have to make it very much into fun and very much into entertainment. Yes, exactly. Attracting the students to have fun while studying on the one hand, on the other hand, very personalized. And of course, the journey, also milestone you take even out of your university, maybe from high school, university, but then you need a career boost, or maybe you're in a midlife crisis. Wherever you are, you can always do this, right? For everybody in change. This is just the start for our business model to get more users for starting in universities. For me, very important, it stimulates the self-reflection and agile mindset. It's not giving solutions. It's not like those, personality tests, but everything here, I'm guiding you through questions. And also when we use AI, it's always first you yourself. And if you have this, it's unblocked. You might also ask that the app is also doing a summary for yourself or helping you in ideation. Then, of course, we start with the overall journey by gaining feedback and insights. As and me, we are design thinkers, of course, and then we adapt the services accordingly. For now, main focus is always the development of the key journey. For us, it's very nice and easy as a train the trainer method, let's say. In general, the app is self-explanatory. Give it plus some exercises instruction that are not in the app. So some we needed to leave out for example, what personality type you are in a very interactive, really classroom setup. It's not possible in the app, or others to have your perception by others exercises. So, but it's easy. So it's much faster to transfer the knowledge that other people can do it. Of course, it has been iterated now over the last 10 years from content side, exercises that were good, exercises that were bad. The last check was with Saudi people themselves, what they like, what they not like, even if there are some questions that you should not put in Saudi context or not. So it's a long iteration content side. And in general, as design thinking approach, it's an open application. So whenever in a later stage, in another year, we find better exercises somewhere, or you have suggestions, for example, it can be integrated. It's very, very open. Yeah, and this is it. So if I'm taking you, for example, how it looks like and feels like, and you see the feasibility was leading to the process. So what can we do? What can we not do? First example, when you have a manual in your courses, we have one part introducing myself to myself with very deep reflection questions. And the students normally takes his pen and is writing down. Okay, in an app, it's not so fancy, it's not possible. So in the app, the solution, for example, I have it here, is that the whole thing is like if ChatGPT would talk to us. So we have 9 questions. For now, they are static. In the MVP, they will be static. Afterwards, we make it more flexible. But so it's asking you what were times or moments where you felt at your best by, and then you answer them. Ah, okay, that's interesting. And is there any concrete experience such and such? Oh, thank you for sharing. Now let us move to people in your life. So it's we solve this to make it more interactive, that it's the 9 questions are a chat as one examples. Then another thing is here it's just a one pager about my strength to explain, not in, oh, I have analytic skills or something, make it more like I'm good in organizing parties or something to make it more human. And I am this, this, and this at adverbs. In our app, it will be more screens then, okay, to make it easy. So it took us longer than we thought to understand with the design of the development company, how can we do this? Or here, people around me in the live session, it's just this. There is nothing, and the rest I can talk and guide. Of course, oof. How can you do this in an app? So this is more complicated, where we have, okay, people around me. Okay, enter the names that you do. So there are very many screens now. Then I'm entering the name. What do you like about them? What do you not like about them? So it's the whole exercise, but completely different than how they would do it, of course, in the live session. So this is why it took a lot of time. It's just not a standard app, but each single exercise we needed somehow to turn into a feasible digital solution. Okay, something is anyway. Okay, it's so that was this one. Or interviews. I can guide you or not, but also interviews normally in the classroom setting. I can check. You have to do the interviews, and if you're not gathering data, we cannot proceed. So how even there the app needs to guide them and force them. I think this is my last demo, by the way. Then I'm coming to the conclusion. So here when I'm in the overview, so I did everything, it's guided, so you cannot skip. Okay, this is all, it's only unblocked once you did one exercise. So you continue, and then we are going into the interviews family and friends. So it's exploration interviews, so family and friends mainly. It's shortly described. So really, for me, it's hard to squeeze, I don't know, a 5-minute introduction into sentences. Very tough. Okay, and I say, okay, make here a list of the names, I don't know, from your family and friends. And then the next one, make a list from other people, maybe you know only recently. And then here, this might be some recommendation for questions that you could take, but maybe you have your own question, put it here. You can edit this, or whenever you say, yeah, this is my questions I want to do. Done, then those questions are taken here. Okay, send these questions or use them while talking on the phone. We are giving them even a header and so forth. By the way, sending them per WhatsApp, even this came from Saudis when we were doing this. And I said, okay, now maybe on your next family gathering, try to ask people or call them and said, and then the young guy, they were saying, can you just write in WhatsApp? It's easier. We can also copy and paste. I said, oh, good idea. So this idea, for example, yes, it's nice. So you have it. But also here, what I'm saying is then it's over. Okay, the more people you ask, the better. And the last advice. And then it's not normally after each exercise is going to the overview. Next one, here it's not possible. You're out. And if you log in, okay, you're logging in. Maybe you're still here. It's here. But, and now yes, you have to enter the thing. So everything is very much guided also with, can I use the next exercise or not? But I cannot do anything if I'm not doing it. And then here I should put for each question that we had is defined here. I'm putting all the answers I collected until I have everything, and then it's done. But only if I have written here something, only then I can push done. Otherwise, it will always, whenever I'm opening the app, it will always go back. So it's pain in the ass in that sense. Okay, and then you're finished with the first phase, let's say. Yes, AI integration, of course. I think my biggest thing of feasibility was when we are in synthesis. I guess you all have this. So you have done maybe happy diary. Good, we're not in that case, but you have gathered your values, your interests, your life city, everything. And then in the live sessions, I say, okay, now like review your workbook, have a look on everything you have found out about yourself, and then a stream of consciousness and writing. How can you do this? You cannot go back screen and screen. This is absolute awful. So here we say, thank God we have AI, because from the beginning already in our technical description, it is described that from each let's say, what field of an answer, what of the answers should go to a bucket of the personality summary. So that in defined phase, or I stop the clicking here. So, okay, when you go in defined phase, the first thing is now thinking about everything you found out so far. So the question will still be the same. What are your main insights? I'm still asking you for some free text. When you have done it, then this is our first deliverable. Then this summary of AI who was summarizing, and we're giving a special prompt like, okay, tell it in a warm tone, focusing on who she is with the main core values, what's important for her in life and all of this. Okay, and then you get a very, very nice summary of who you are. I think all alone this is very, very nice. And it's not a suggestion from any standard data in the world or from any algorithm from personality app, but this is the summary of your own answers. So it's very powerful. I checked this alone with me with ChatGPT, and it's wow, it's very cool. Then, of course, an ideation. So an ideation, you're open to book ideation sessions. So each who has formulated and is on the stage, who has formulated the passion statements, can also book live sessions. Hopefully, maybe one day to interchange in universities when you have the students ready and that stage, and then the Saudi students. So it would be perfect. So they can book live sessions, or of course also they do their mind map. We give them the mind map tool, or also their AI is helping them based on everything they have done so far. So what is the suggestion for you when you put the passion mapping and the direction? So if it's a job, if it's inside the job, if it's for this business startup or in private life. And testing there mainly, it will be used for redefining, let's say, when you go for milestones and giving them the suggestions. Okay, if you are going to open a yoga farm in South Africa, okay, then did you think of this and this and this to help you set up your testing scenarios and so forth? This is the main things. But I think the most powerful one is the personality summary. Yes, that's IDRAK. Education for AI generation, just this repetition. It's addressing the shift in education. I think much more into this super digital AI world in Saudi Arabia, personalized and fun experience. And of course, always it has evolved after 10 years from content size, and it will always evolve whenever we have better or more suitable exercises. It can involve lifelong learning, of course. It's AI powered self-reflection. So for us is the main thing, you are responsible for your life. You are the entrepreneur of your life. It's your vision, and it's never that the app is suggesting you something before you have not also worked on it. That's very important. And for me, it's very important. It's a nice tool for train the trainer to just hand over. How can you design your life, hopefully as easy as you can, especially in Saudi Arabia. Exactly, when we do it. That would be my intro, slightly more than 30 minutes.
Thank you so much, Isabel. So I really see the potential of an app like that. If I understand it correctly, it's not available yet.
No, no, no. So we had, because it was the feasibility to transform each and every single stuff. So it should, the MVP downloadable should be there in November, but I see it in January maximum.
Great. There is a question by Alex.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Isabel, thank you for this impressive sharing of your experience in Saudi Arabia and also of the business idea with this app. What I was wondering, if you're creating such a personalized journey of self-discovery and so, did you integrate some measures for the outcome, maybe to measure some effects, how this works, if this works, which effects does it have on the people, on the users?
Oh, good question. So no, so
Because
what?
otherwise, let me just
Mm-hmm.
think about like a little bit more critically looking at
Mm-hmm.
this service or this tool. One could say, look, this is just another hipster app on
Mm-hmm.
reflection.
Mm-hmm.
But I think since you are working there with some data, you are working on self-reflection, you're working maybe on self-improvement, on clarity, on personal values, and so on, so on, so there should be some effects. And I think these effects you can measure. For example, clarity about something, about your life, about, when you do the definition phase or the exploration phase, first you start with the question, who are you? You said, who am I? What do I want? And the level of the clarity before starting this journey
Mm-hmm.
might be different than after your
After,
journey.
so,
Exactly. So, in essence, if you can use the data that you are producing there and do some research, do some maybe some papers even to show that, look, our guidance helps the people to gain clarity or to gain this and this and this direction. And this has effects. You can get some
yes,
feedback from the users and so on. And then you have a different credibility to position your app, to
yes.
position your service.
Yes. Yeah, for now, exactly. I'm gathering the feedback. So the first thing what we have also there, the promise, and it will be the data is completely encrypted. So I could never see nothing what anybody is writing. What I see on the other side of the dashboard is mainly Are they stuck? How many people have completed in what time frame, and all of this like statistical data. And the rest, of course, I'm reaching out through the monthly subscription. Have you done your milestone? What is there? But you're correct. We have not thought about this before and after somehow. I
So
don't know.
I
Yeah, good
put
idea. Very good.
information regarding the flourishing measurements. It is, from my perspective, pretty robust. And what I particularly like, it is a very holistic assessment about happiness and life satisfaction, mental and physical health as the second domain, third domain, meaning and purpose, fourth, character and virtue, domain five, close social relationships, and the sixth domain, and I think this cannot be underestimated, particularly in emerging countries and for women, is financial and material stability. Just have a look in it. There's even a
Yeah, I can have a look. I thank you very much, because there needs to be something from the beginning, maybe even by using it from the MVP, of course. In the courses you get the feedback afterwards or during and stuff, but of course to make it a proof of concept, we need to think of something. Thank you so much.
So for the LinkedIn approach, we can also, what kind of feedback are you looking for? We can do that in writing. Alexander, you also developed a digital solution and would like to briefly introduce it. And maybe there is also a possibility to find synergies between what you are doing and what Isabel is doing. Would you please share your screen?
Yes, thank you. I did not prepare a presentation,
No, you
unfortunately,
can just walk us through your solution.
yeah. Let me give you maybe some background to this idea, let's say, or to this project. So, in my PhD, and Bettina was my second supervisor, so I was happy to have her, so she knows the work that I've done. I was working on Ikigai, so on this traditional Japanese concept of how to find your purpose in life. And after working with that, I did not see any tools or any solutions that help the people to find this purpose. Yes, this is a framework. Yes, this is let's say a philosophy. But what do you do to find out what you love? What do you do to find out what you're good at? You know, what are the tools? Of course, you can reflect on that. But is there something? So my idea was, or my intention here was to create a place, let's call it a digital platform now, where people working on Ikigai or interested in working on Ikigai can meet, can connect, and can share their pedagogical approaches, how they are teaching it in universities, because people are doing that, how they're doing that, maybe even in consulting, how they do some research, because also there are a lot of research papers going on this topic. So a place where we can see how many people are interacting, many people are interested in doing that, in how many people are applying these kind of things in order to connect and to learn from each other. So let me share my screen to show you what exactly it is. Oh. So this is, let's say, a prototype, a beta, wait a second, which is already online. It is a platform called ikigaiForImpact.org. And what you can see here is, let's say, an invitation to join the community, to connect with educators, researchers, life coaches, innovators, and so on and so on. All the people who are working within this framework. You can showcase your expertise, your use cases, your practical tools or templates or whatever you're using in order to share and to get in touch with others. It will contribute, of course, to our current socioeconomic transition, because there's a lot of things going on in our society. People lose their direction in life. They cannot find meaning in life. They cannot find the purpose in their jobs and so on. And I believe that this is one of the tools that we can use in order to help the people. And for that, I would like to invite people to use research-based insights, really, from the empirical studies to see what do we have, what do we learn, what do we know, and from that we can transfer this knowledge, not only letting it in the form of a paper somewhere on a database, but no, asking ourselves what can we do now in order to make it practical, in order to make it usable. So here I explain the target groups, what they can use and why they should join. For those who are not really familiar with Ikigai, this is a short introduction. This is the framework. It has these 4 sections, what you love, what you are good at. And Isabel, you also mentioned some of them, what you can be paid for and what the world needs. And when they come together, you find your purpose in life, let's say. Here are some use cases, how they can be used in different formats. And here the invitation in, hey, share your teaching practice, share your research project that is running. Currently, this page is empty, you will see, but this page is also this website is very, very young, and I did not promote it until yet. So here you can join in, and what else can you do? Not only be part of that, but you can see, of course, okay, this is the, let's say, theory behind that. Which effects does it have? Why is it interesting now for today's community, not only for the previous past? You get different options how to interact. For example, you can make a short survey, the Ikigai 9 questionnaire. This questionnaire lets you discover individual sense of your purpose with 9 statements. This is a validated questionnaire based on a research done by Email et al. In 2012. It's a very famous study, and it has 3 basic factors: optimistic and positive emotion regarding life, active and positive attitudes towards one life, and recognition of the meaning of the one's existence. So this is, let's say, the research-based scale that they developed to measure Ikigai. But then, I mean, what now? How can you use it? And now such things like, is there an app? Is there a digital tool for this? So there is no such thing. I created one example how you can maybe translate that in a first step prototype. So I took the questionnaire, I added some more questions here, and what you get as a result, if you fill that out, here is a interface where you can see, okay, there is a score of the Ikigai. Okay, what does it give you? 44% is not much, but you can see the average of the people who did this questionnaire and how you score against them. It gives you, based on your profile, it gives you some guiding questions. So they are individualized based on what what you clicked and how you answered. And this is it for now, but it will be more. It will be more, and I'm happy to share that with you. There are some purpose stories. For example, oh, someone filled it out already. Um, obviously. I think it was my test run. Um, yeah, look, this is new. This is new. So if you are struggling or you have a success story in your life, you already did something like this, and you think, hey, I believe I found my purpose in life. I found my job, and I'm really happy with that. Share your story, how you came to that, how you could find it. This is the invitation to this. So, but for now, for this, you need to log in, and you need to you can then share that. What else can you do? This is the purpose stories, and then there is community. For this, I will just log in. I see if this works. Oh, it's not this. Sorry, this is not the online version. Sorry, this is the online version. This is the purpose story, how it looks now. So this is one purpose story which someone wrote. So I'm happy, blah, 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 I'm an educator. So. And now if you go to the community, you can create your profile, and you will be visible in this community as someone who is engaging here. So here you have the login, And yeah, you can see here the profiles. So this is my profile, for example. You can then select from educate for the types, from the countries, and you can see the profile, read who is the person, what is he or she looking for, maybe ideas, research exchange, or tool development. How do you apply Ikigai or similar frameworks? Maybe you have a research idea and you're looking for people joining you. You have particular research questions. If people are also interested in them, they can contact you, see your LinkedIn profile, and so on. So they can connect. What else? Knowledge base. For example, you want to know, hey, what is that Ikigai and what does it do really? What do we know? I don't want to make a systematic literature review on my own. Well, let's see what they have. And here I already implemented 2 research papers, one from 2024 and one from 25. So really new research on Ikigai. This is a review, a literature review on the effects that it has, and a short summary. You can read that it has a lot of benefits. It has a lot of potential positive effects on mental health, well-being, physical health, and so on and so on. A lot of things. You can read the full paper by clicking here. So there's a link to that, so you can directly access. If this is working, if the page is working. Yeah, so you can directly access the full paper. So this is the idea, to create such a platform and invite people to be there, to share their work, to contribute to the main knowledge base, and maybe to connect, reaching out and say, hey, I see you're doing this and that. There is an app. Let's think about this application. I see you're working in pedagogical tools with this. You're teaching Ikigai somewhere in entrepreneurship education. How do you do that? Can you share your materials or something like this? So this is the basic idea on that. And yeah, I'm happy to share this with you. It is now live. You can access that. You can share that, and you can give me feedback on this if this is something that the world needs, or if it's something that you think, well, not really. How can it be improved? Which tools and methods we can even include in that?
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Alex. I have to figure out how to unfocus. Let me do the following. Are you now?
I have in the meantime just a short question. So now knowing, so would I be a user of your platform or only if I do Ikigai?
Mhm. The initial idea was people who are, let's say,
So it's a niche
who are
platform, right?
familiar with Ikigai, but
Mhm.
you are working with very similar concepts, actually. There are
Mhm.
values involved. There are the question, who am I involved?
Mhm.
Why not?
No,
Why
but no,
not?
it was a general question.
Yes,
So
it
it's
should,
really
I
Ikigai, the niche people.
I think it is not exclusive. I think it's not exclusive, but the main idea of creating a purpose in life, I think this is something where people should really
Mhm.
have an interest in that.
Mhm. Good.
So I just shared the link on the chat.
It's
So
in
if you like,
already in the chat.
you
So
did it
I
already.
would
Thank you.
stop sharing, and I will get. I have your email address, and that you're receiving feedback for your platforms. And thank you very much for now. And we are able to continue the discussion because Tyron also has a question.